Hello and welcome back to another episode of our newest Zoo franchise, ZooRx. The Hills, Tennessee is going to be our first zoo here. As you can see, we are in the midst of adding another animal to this side of the park. We got some comments from our guests that we do not have a big enough park, so we need to have some more attractions. Now, we are in a slight money crunch, which is an issue. But I think adding more animals, getting more of a revenue stream through tips and donations is going to be our way out of it, hopefully. So I'm going to see about adding something maybe over here, that side of the park right there. Just kind of in the corner here next to the capybara habitat that I just made one of the previous episodes. So let's go ahead and get started here. I am going to need to add in a power source on this side because it is out of the power range. So let me see where I can fit this in. I don't really like it right there. Let's try to move that. Try to hide it on the back side of the building that I'm going to build over here. We are going to go with the wolverine as our next animal. They have pretty high appeal ratings, so hopefully that'll help draw in more customers and more money, so we can keep expanding this park. And it kind of goes along with the theme that we're going for, kind of more of a North American, South American type animal. I take that back. We've done some Asian animals as well so far. So, but this will fit in nicely with the capybara, the timber wolf right across the road here. So let's get started and add another work zone here. Or add this to one of the work zones. See what these guests are saying. Alright, let's go find the wolverine here. Kind of see what we're working with as far as what's available. Well, there are some very expensive ones. We're probably going to go with one of these cash ones, but they are pretty high appeal. Let's see how we can fit this in here. I don't want to make it overly large, but oh. Go ahead and get rid of that one real quick. All right, back to building the habitat. Prices in there. Let's see here. We can have one male, one female. They don't need a huge space, so we can go ahead and kind of make this some pretty moderate size. I think I'll make it a little bit larger than maybe what I need for just one or two. Maybe have a couple offspring, get rid of them once they're gone, once they're in there, but because they can't have multiples, so hopefully this will work out. go ahead and put our barrier or our gate on this side. I think it's closer. It's closer to the where the staff's coming out over here. Make it a little bit easier for them to deal with this. Then we'll have a nice little trifecta area. We might rework the work zones where one person can take care of the timber wolves, capybara, and then also the wolverine habitats. Make it a very compact area that they have to work in. Really don't want to do just a standard barrier. This might look nice, but I think I want to keep that for more of like a Arctic style animal. It kind of has the Arctic theme, lattice and the rustic wood. It's a little too large as far as just going straight up and down. I think I want to make something that has somewhat of an overhang because they do climb a little bit, so I think we'll just do a null barrier to start here. I'll try to just kind of map out how big we want the area. So I think I'll go with this fence. I'll paint it white and black. Kind of goes along with the theming of the capybara building as well. Kind of keep it more in that same vein. However, I am going to use this bigger panel. I have the gate be inside of a building again, so I'm going to try to start this off a little bit away from that, and then kind of feed into this corner, and then along that path to the left here. Alright, then we'll kind of just take this down this path. Build this a little bit towards the left here, because the path does angle a little bit away from a straight line from that other segment. And then we can kind of go from there. Alright, we'll take it over to the left a little bit more, and then I think we're going to start heading an angle. Kind of towards the solar panel, but I think we might make it a little bit larger than that. We'll see what happens here. Yeah, I think I want to take it a little bit further over to the left here around the side of this solar panel. Maybe we'll play off that and kind of make a little area to the back side of the building that I'm going to build over here. To give it a little bit more space. Let's do this null barrier, kind of see how big this area is that I've mapped out. Lately it's been a struggle with these null barriers, trying to get them where I want to, so we'll see how this goes going around this. That wasn't too bad, so let's select the null barrier and kind of see what I'm working with here. It's 7:43. Let's see. Finder. There's a couple kids. Yeah, I think that's probably a decent size. Man, you can hear those wolves just howling away. Might try to make this a little bit bigger, kind of make this encompassing. Make this next building that I'm going to build with the wolverine backstage area, building for them to go into, encapsulating this solar panel, and also maybe another building for the staff that are going to be servicing these areas. Let's go ahead and get these all selected so we can recolor them into the black and white theme. think we'll go with a metal-clad building here. I wish you could recolor this to where it was a different color than this gray, but I mean, I guess it is what it is. I'm gonna have to reposition this solar panel to be able to be accessible through this door. I really wish you could put the buildings at an angle, so hopefully the next Planet Zoo will do that. A few arches here on the back side where they can get out and into the building. We'll just finish up closing up this building. Alright, let's reposition this solar panel kind of in this back corner of this building that I'm kind of expanded a little bit more than I was going to do originally. Maybe I can fit in a little bit of a bigger... a little bit of a bigger staff building than what I was going to originally put in. There are a couple of them, so I know we're semi-close to the original layout of the staff buildings, but it's always good to have another workshop or another research thing. Oops, didn't mean to do that. All right, let's try to reposition this null barrier into the area of the building that it's actually going to cover, so that'll take a little bit of finagling here. Gosh, I put a few too many nodes and indents and everything in these. It's gonna... Because I'm just having the building here and trying to work around this. It's a nightmare. let's put this solar panel kind of back in this corner of the building. Make a path to that. This we'll make that a window. Then see if I can fix this door. Put this barrier door kind of more into the doorway, or into the door opening. I'm gonna have to delete this path little area right there. Alright. So once I get this put in there, eventually, we can go ahead and start working on the roof area. Kind of finish off this building, and then get our wolverines. All right, let's see here. Let's go ahead and kind of close up this area. Put this piece more in an angle towards the building. Then maybe I'll have to add another piece to try to close it up. I do want to add an angled portion of the fence to the top, because they are climber, just to make it look more realistic to where it would stop them from actually climbing out. However, I don't think I have the pieces in the construction researched yet that I would actually want to use, so I'm going to have to try to figure something out later. But let's go ahead and finish up the enclosure of the mesh, and then let me expand this a little bit. This a little bit bigger, kind of go towards the edge of the building, and then that way it's even more space, more land for them to roam around in. Or let's kind of go toward the edge of this building, and then we will start working on the roof here in just a second. Oh, I think there might be a small gap right here. So I'm gonna have to put another piece in. It doesn't line up with the corner of the wall, so I'm gonna have to fix this angle of this backside. Kind of just angle this last piece maybe. And then maybe I might have to fix this whole little section. Well, let's go ahead and move the null barrier for the 17th time. One of these times I'll learn my lesson to not put the null barrier in until I'm actually done with the habitat and the buildings, and kind of just figure out exactly what I want to do first and then put the null barrier in. So I'm gonna obviously fill up this whole section. Might add another area of backstaging for the staff in there, so I might have to adjust this one more time. Yeah, I think we'll go ahead and add a row, or move that wall over. So we have like another section of area that we can put in staff building or two. All right, there we go. So let's figure out what kind of roof we want to put on here. Should I go metal? Probably just go metal on metal. Then can I recolor this? Let's go white. Well, I think that might be too similar to the capybara. I think let's change it to let's go black. Green. No, let's just do black like I thought first. Gray and black, can't go wrong with that for the color scheme of the building. Kind of classic, simple looking. All right, so we'll work our way around here. I think we're gonna just do the 1 meter roof, not too steep. Gonna make it simple. Put in a couple eaves around the edges. Corner here. Just gotta make it it's looking pretty good. I think the eaves, when you add those in, it definitely makes it look more finished than square building in a video game. So it makes it look a little bit better. So we'll try to figure this out here, and then we'll go from there. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna need an inverse. I think an inverse corner right here. There we go. Alright, so what I gotta do now is I'm gonna go around and put the eaves all around the corners. It'll be pretty easy because there's corner pieces, so it'll take care of two segments at a time. And then once I'm done with that, then we can go ahead and purchase. I think I'll purchase the Wolverine, if there are any available at the moment. Oh, I need to redo. I just flip it around. There we go. Do all these single pieces first, then we'll try to go ahead and do the corner pieces to take care of the rest. Building looks pretty good. I think maybe for one of the next buildings I'll try to do like not just a single story, or maybe I'll do a more slanted roof, kind of make him look a little bit different than what it is right now. Don't want to look everything to look exactly the same height and everything. Alright, let's finish off this building. Let's put a piece of glass there. Only have the one window this time on the outside, so that way it won't take too long for this. Alright, overall it looks pretty good. Slightly confused. I can't figure out where it's not connected. It looks like it's connected all the way around. Again, this building and the snow barrier are struggle bus today. Does it not have a barrier on the actual gate? No, looks like it's all the way around. Let's see if I can figure this out. I'll go next on each segment until I go all the way around and see. Well, let's see. Let's go ahead and purchase a wolverine just so we can get started here. I'll figure out the habitat in just a second before I bring him over, but I can send him to the quarantine at least. Oh gosh, there's only females. So let's go ahead and pick our only female here and send it to the female here and send it to the quarantine. I wish there was a male. Well, I guess I'm not going to be able to get both of them at the same time since they're both not on the list at the moment. Hopefully at some point a male pops into the list. Refresh. Nope, still nothing. Since there aren't any males, we'll go ahead and do a little bit of a terraform here inside the habitat. I'll make a little bit of a little pond here in the habitat and add a couple hills. I like a habitat with some hills, some undulations, some inclines. I mean, every habitat you've probably seen at a real zoo has some sort of a slope to it. There's nothing really that's completely flat. Even the indoor ones, there's going to be some sort of something for them to climb on or walk over or play with or whatever. So I like to have a little bit of a undulation and hill in the habitats. Add a little bit of a hill over here. Probably put some trees on top of the hill. I do need to leave a little bit of a space for the enrichment items. Otherwise, it'll just flatten it out anyways. All right, I guess we'll call it a day here. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment below, and we'll see you the next time.